Nice things anyway.
Good, man. Yeah, it's great to be really busy, you know. Obviously, when lockdown first happened, we didn't know what to do, and we decided to move ahead and release the album anyway. We could see a sort of appetite from people, so the promo has been non-stop the last couple of weeks. I think also because there's not too much going on in a way that it sort of helped us, like, and the reaction has been great. And as I said, we saw an appetite for new music from our followers and stuff. So it felt right to get the album out, and it's all going really well, man.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks for taking a wee break from your promo. You've been very busy delivering ice cream to the masses, I see. Do you know what?
Yeah, no,
Those times like these, you have to get creative.
100%. Like, I mean, we wanted to have a launch gig. We couldn't do that. We wanted to go in and do in-store signings like we always do, and we couldn't do that. And even radio performances, like, can't really do that. Can't go into radio stations and play acoustically and stuff. So
Yeah.
we were trying to think of things that we could do to mark the launch, and our manager came up with this idea. So it's been brilliant. We've Golden Discs on board, so we're signing the album from the ice cream truck. Murphy's got on board as well. Murphy's a dingle, gave us a load of ice cream. We've been handing it out for free, and people are loving it. Like, we can't get over the reaction. Like, we ran out of ice cream, we ran out of vinyl. Like, it's madness. Like, people are just loving something different to do, and obviously we have two COVID officers there, and there's all social distancing and masks and everything, but people are just loving that there's something different happening, like, you know. And so yeah, the turnout has been amazing, and we've gotten great coverage from it as well, which was the initial idea, you know, just to get the word out there that the album's out, you know.
Yeah, I think that's it. People are craving something to happen now, aren't they? They're craving new music. They're craving to see something a wee bit different. True
Yeah,
Love. I mean, where do we even start with this? It's been a long time coming, man, hasn't it?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we probably started writing it over 2 years ago now at this stage, and um, yeah, it's been a great journey. Like, it's been a mad journey. I
Yeah.
mean, when we started the album, we didn't see that we would be a three-piece. You know, when we
Yeah.
started the album with Dave, our guitar player, as a full member, and then he told us last summer that he wasn't really enjoying it and he wanted to step back. And so yeah, we ended up sort of changing direction. That sort of took us in a new direction with the album, and we recorded the majority of it at the end of last year. And you know, as I say, we had planned to get it out in May, but with everything that happened, it sort of didn't feel right to release then, so we delayed it a couple of months. And I'm just so happy to get it out.
Yeah.
It's getting a great reaction, so, and we're really proud of it, you know. So it's cool to have it out there in the world. Obviously, it's a pity that we can't promote it properly and tour it, like, because we'd love to be going out on the road now and getting ready to play it live. But you know, we'll bide our time and weather the storm, and hopefully, you know, gigging will be back next year.
Yeah, hopefully. And I mean, as you said, you posted on your Instagram 3 million views or 3 million streams, sorry, on Spotify already of the new record. Is that kind of beating expectations or your ambitions from where you thought the album would go so early?
It's so funny. Like, we were driving home last night from the ice cream van thing in Waterford, and um, the lad said that, and my first reaction was, "Is that good?" Because like, I just don't know. Like, I think I'm one of the few people in the world that I listen to Apple Music. I probably shouldn't even say that. It's in case the people on Spotify.
There's not too many of us, but
But yeah, I just, whatever way, on my Apple phone. And to be honest, I listen to albums, you know, through. I have a vinyl player. I buy a lot more vinyl these days as well. So you know, I had no idea. Apparently, it's good, so that's good. But listen, what we can gauge is the reaction when we're meeting people, and people are loving the album, and you know, friends of mine texting me, and so yeah, the reaction has been great overall. And I know we did get on some certain playlists, and we were on the homepage of the Spotify worldwide when the album came out, so I know that definitely made a difference. So we're getting lots of little things like that, you know, people that know more about the industry are excited about, but I just tend to sort of separate myself from that stuff, because also then if it goes badly, I'm not disappointed because I still don't know, you know. So
yeah,
we've
yeah.
released singles that didn't make it on New Music Friday, and you know, the people in the label were like, "Oh no, that's such a pity," and I'm like, what's that, like, you know? So I think I'm happy in my ignorance, you know, that sort of way.
Yeah, no, definitely, because I mean, there's tracks there. We're featuring on this week's album Spotlight, and as a fan, I love it because I'm listening to it going, one, I can't wait to see this live,
Yeah.
you know, because there's so many just big sing-alongs and all those catchy hooks. But two, it sounds amazing on the radio.
Yeah, it's been getting a great reaction at radio, you know, because it's funny. we've had a few albums now, and there's a whole new wave of Irish bands coming through. You know, the likes of the Academic and Wild Youth and Lyra and Gavin James, and obviously then there's the big acts like Dermot Kennedy, and you know all these people that are absolutely killing it. But you know, it's great that we're still there. We in a way we've sort of, I think we've sort of adjusted without even really talking about it or realizing it. We're maybe not quite the same band as them, and we wouldn't want to compete with them in a sort of poppy way. But it's cool that, as you say, the songs. I think we've evolved a little bit, maybe away from when we were a little bit more commercial, I suppose, maybe a couple of albums ago. And maybe, so we were, to be honest with you, I was a bit unsure whether we would get daytime radio, especially. And, you know, and Find the Water was a good example of that, where it was a little bit different for us. And it was the first single, and I sang differently. And it's not, the arrangement of it is a bit all over the place. It's not a 3-minute pop song, like, you know, but it got amazing response, which was so nice, you know, as I say, not just from our fans and people listening to music, but on radio as well. And it makes all the difference really for a band like us when we're getting radio play. So it's a tough one. As I say, we had to just follow our instincts, and it didn't feel right to try and go for the hit singles as such and try and have really poppy daytime dancey songs. But at the same time, there still is a few there that really broke through and thankfully, as I say, sound good on radio.
And I think for a lot of fans as well, that were so eager to see, I'm sure it must be nice as well for you as a band to see what was it going to be like as a three-piece, you know, with Dave leaving the band. I'm sure, you know, you probably went through phases yourself when you said you wrote the majority of the album after he's left. And
yeah,
it must be amazing to see the reaction from fans that they've received the new album so well, that you are the three-piece.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, absolutely, because you're right. It was a new chapter for us, and even Dave himself. I mean, we did get Dave to play on a good few songs in the album in the end as well, which was cool. He came over and laid down some guitar and about 4 or 5 tracks, which was nice. But even him, he texted me being like, "The album sounds great," like, and I'm like, "Sure, you played on half it," like, you know. He's like, "Oh, it's so good," and you know, so it is cool getting reactions like that from different people, you know. As you say, I would love to be. Usually now you do the whole run of promo, and then you're building up to a big tour or a big gig, or a run of gigs or festivals or whatever it is, and that's sort of the payoff nearly for releasing the album and promoting it. But yeah, all we can do is enjoy the reaction it's getting, and as you say, thankfully it is getting a great reaction. We're very proud of it. So it's cool that people are into it. And we will get to tour it eventually whenever everything comes back. We'll tour it later in the year, like, you know.
And that's it. And everybody says the same, don't they? Come the tours next year, the gigs are going to be something else, because if people are craving to see you guys in an ice cream van, can you imagine
yeah.
Christmas shows at the Olympia or here at the Ulster Hall in Belfast or wherever it's going to be? They're going to be a different level completely, aren't they?
100%. And like I've seen it. Hold on 1 second. My dog is here. Jess, Jess, come here. She is just being a mess. Sorry about that. Here, come and say hello. Look at this is my new dog. I'm such a cliche for lockdown. I got a dog. Here, Jess, say hello.
Oh, gorgeous.
She's amazing. She's so good. I got her in the DSPCA, but she just had a moment where she's just, I don't know, looking for attention.
You've been joining
but anyway, sorry about that. But anyway, so the reaction has been unreal. But like, as you say, everyone who's come up in the signings, every single person is like, "Oh, we're missing gig, and we'd love gigging to come back." And we're in the van going, "Yeah, we would too." Like, you know, it's one of those things. And I miss going as a punter as well. As you say, you're talking about those gigs. Like, I miss walking into the Olympia to see bands, and you know, I only live down the road. And even last summer, I walked into Trinity into the Ivy Gardens to see a Vampire Weekend, and you know, I just miss those summer nights of going to a gig and just having a couple of beers. And
yeah,
I really do miss it. So, and festivals as well, like that's a great time for us to actually see other bands, because you know, you have your one slot, but there's no sound check or anything. So if you're around for the day, you can go and check out other bands, and you can just enjoy yourself a little bit. So yeah, 100%. I miss all that. But as you say, everyone seems to, you know, so I'm not really concerned that there won't be an appetite there for live music once those restrictions get, you know, lifted. I suppose I think people are going to be, you know, more eager than ever to go and support live music.
Yeah. And you've spoke before about trying to break the international scene a little bit. Do you feel that this album, with the responses getting at home so far, once the gigs are up and going again and there is that appetite, is it something you would like to try and take on the road further overseas?
100%. I mean, even in the last 2 years, we've really noticed a difference in America, especially. You know, the venues are getting a little bit bigger and they're packed, and there's much more Americans coming. And in New York, we played some cool venues like Irving Plaza was sold out, which is like, it's almost the same size as the Ulster Hall, you know. So it's cool to see it building. And we had a big tour planned in May, and obviously that all got pulled. Like, but yes, 100%. You know, and as I say, by all accounts, the Spotify numbers are doing well, and there's an interest outside Ireland. I've been doing. Obviously, there's the awkward, unfortunate name angle as well, but I've been doing more interviews than ever. Like, you know, but there's a lot of like American news outlets and all that just want a little clickbait story. Wait to hear this band's name, like, you know. But I don't mind that. You know, it gets it. If I have to answer one question about our stupid name in the first 2 minutes of an interview, and then I spend the rest of the time promoting our music, it's fine, you know. Yeah, absolutely. And we're just playing the hand we're dealt, and it's one of those things. So, definitely, we see it building outside Ireland, and as I say, we were so excited about going on tour. And as you say, because it was a new chapter with us as well with Dave, we were looking forward to changing the set, even little things like even our setup on stage. Like we had worked on this where we were going to, because we're a three-piece now, and we do have other musicians on stage, but we were just going to set up a little bit differently, and the show was going to be always different without Dave anyway. So we were looking forward to that new chapter of change and trying to get a different band. We were going to have a female backing vocalist with us throughout, and maybe some horns and stuff like that if we could afford to bring them on tour. But so all that stuff was in the sort of in the back burner, sort of on the back burner. You know, we were making plans to do it. So it's a pity now, because it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime very soon. I don't know. Like, I'm trying not to overthink it. Every day there's a different sort of angle about a vaccine, or, you know, there's going to be socially distant gigs or whatever. But I don't know. I just hope that when it does come back, it comes back properly, and you can go there and just, you know, put your arms in the air and sing out loud and be amongst a group of people, however close, but like have an atmosphere there, you know, because I think that's important too. Like,
this question, I guess it's like asking if you had children, who's your favorite child? Do you have a favorite song on the album?
We did a thing the other night. We went out to celebrate the launch, just the band, and we went around the table, and our manager, and we were like, what's your favorite song and your least favorite? And we made it, everyone do it, like, you know. So I can answer this for all the band if you want. But my favorite is probably, I really like Cold. It's a song I'm quite proud of, and I think it's a little bit different for us. Again, it's got an unusual arrangement. It's probably not a single or maybe even an instant song, you know, but it's a lot. We played it a couple of times live just before, around Christmas time. There was so much crack to play the end of it, especially live. I do love True Love Waits as well. I'd like to play that live, but I like Find the Water as well. I'm still proud of that song, but probably my favorite song, I'm naming them all, but Lost in the Thick of It, I just think is a good tune. I think it'll stand the test of time a bit, if it's okay to say that. I think it's just a simple, good tune, like, you know, and it doesn't need all the bells and whistles. It's not like a current song or anything. It's just a good tune, and so I'm quite proud of that one, and I think Gabrielle should be as well, and Alfie Hudson Taylor, who wrote it with us. So
lovely,
that's probably my favorite,
isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful. She's amazing, and you know, she's such a good writer as well. Like, you know, I went over there when we sat down, and literally all I had was the piano loop that starts off the song, and we just sort of wrote it there in the room. And some of Gabrielle's melodies, like, were really just amazing. Me and Alfie were like, "Is the red light on? Make sure she's recorded. That sounds so good," like, you know. And we wrote the song, the three of us, and yeah. So I always thought from the very initial demo that was literally just on our iPhone recording of us in their front room in Brighton. You know, I was like, there's something in that is just a simple, cool tune. It still sounded good in just one piano and, you know, Gabrielle's voice and mine, and just a couple of harmonies. And I think that's always a test of a song, you know. So, but it'll change, you know. Live, I'd say I'll love to play the likes of True Love Waits and the ones that have big moments, like, you know.
Yeah. LA at Night been another standout one, I think, for us. We're going to be wrapping up the album spotlight with that track.
Lovely. Oh man, thanks so much. Yeah, that one got a great reaction as well. We released that like probably a month ago on Spotify, just as a sort of pre-order or whatever they call it. But yeah, it's getting a great reaction, and I was really proud of that song as well, and you know, it turned out great. I think we could have went sort of down the obvious ballad treatment of it, like a song like "Give Me a Minute" on our last album, but you know, we wanted to sort of approach it slightly differently and have some cool sounds and sonically make it a little bit different to the obvious ballads that the Crows have had in the past. And I think George did a brilliant job of that as well.
Yeah, it's the way it builds. It's fantastic, really.
It just sort of sneaks up on you, doesn't it? And even like the drums never kick in. It's all just it never like arrives. It just continues to build, and it's just a load of sonic sounds and stuff. And yeah, it was a fun one to record.
Yeah, brilliant. Danny, thank you so much for taking the time.
Is that okay, Connor?
Talk to us this evening. Really, really appreciate it, man. Good luck.
No problem.
Cannot wait to see the gigs next year.
Thank you so much.
Face mask. It's going to be.
Thank you so much, man. It's really nice to chat to you. It was a lovely chat. Cheers, man. Hope all is well.
Q Radio.